that showcases the contributions of all modes of transportation to the socio-economic growth and development of our country, Africa, and the rest of the world. Transport line is being to you from the Center of Excellence, the state of aquatic splendor, and Africa's fifth largest economy, Lagos. I am Shino Elegbede. Glad to know that you are keeping us company. The Lagos Metropolitan Area Transportation Authority, LAMATA, that's a think tank of the Lagos State government as far as when you talk about transportation is concerned. LAMATA recently organized a national conference on sustainable urban mobility. What was it all about? Here's a brief extract from the opening ceremony of the event.
Speaking on the theme, implementing safe, inclusive and climate resilient urban transport in a digital age for sustainable development, representing Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is his deputy, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat, who says the state has the tools to revolutionize the movement of people and goods. And with Lagos being one of Africa's leading tech hubs, the state is uniquely positioned to harness the power of digital technologies to enhance urban mobility.
As cities around the world continue to expand, the demand on our transportation system grows ever more acute. Here in Lagos, one of Africa's most fast-growing urban centers, we have felt this pressure from population growth, urban rapid urbanization, and economic development have placed increasing strain on existing infrastructure, often leading to traffic gridlock, some issue with environmental issues, and social inequalities. Transportation has been made central to sustainable development as it connects people to jobs, to play, commercial activities, to education, and other essential services, which normally drives economic growth and enhances the quality of our lives. So when it is poorly managed, or when it becomes obsolete, it can also escalate some of the most significant global challenges like air pollution, greenhouse emissions, road accidents, and of course, social exclusion. This reality places a monumental responsibility on all of us. We are therefore challenged to think on how best we design, build, and operate our transport systems. The stakes are very high, but so too are the opportunities we take advantage of. The choices we make today will shape the future of our cities and the well-being of future generations. Our planet is facing a climate crisis, and the transportation sector contributes significantly to greenhouse emissions. Transportation sector alone accounts for nearly a quarter of energy-related global emissions, making it imperative that we transition to greener, more efficient and sustainable systems. Our planet is facing a climate crisis long movement. In Lagos, we have made this transition a top priority by aligning our transportation development with climate resilience. Lagos State Government, through LAMATA and Lagos State Waterways Authority, LASU, which is responsible for managing the waterways, is implementing a sustainable multimodal public transport system that integrates cleaner energy, intracity buses, bus rapid transit, light rail transit, inland water transit, and non-motorized transportation options. That is walking and cycling. Lagos State Government is actively implementing programs and policies aimed at reducing reliance on fossil fuels and combating the harmful effect of greenhouse gas emissions.
He calls on the private sector to partner with government in building the transport systems of the future.
Our administration is exploring clean urban transport solutions that will incorporate the use of hydroelectricity, CNG, biomass, geothermal energy, and even renewable energy sources such as wind power and solar energy into our public transport system. towards sustainable urban mobility. Lamata is currently implementing 2 pilot demonstration schemes on CNG buses and electric buses. This transition reduces emission and creates a cleaner, quieter, and healthier environment for us in Lagos. Sustainability, therefore, is not just about reducing carbon footprints. It is also about ensuring that our transport systems are inclusive and accessible to all citizens, irrespective of class or status. We cannot make progress in urban mobility if our most vulnerable citizens, the elderly, people with living disabilities, and our children are left behind in whatever we do.
Effective and efficient transportation system is one of the most fundamental structures for any nation's economic progress. The transportation sector has its own share of challenges. However, it is believed that it can still succeed through better strategies and restructuring. One of such strategies is this National Conference on Sustainable Urban Mobility, which is attended by representatives from other states in the country.
I'm particularly thrilled that this conference unites key stakeholders, especially decision makers in our esteemed profession, to share insights on the challenges and issues facing our sector and society at large. Together, we can chart a course that will benefit and transform the transportation landscape while providing ample opportunities for networking among participants. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to emphasize that the theme of the 2024 inaugural edition of this conference, implementing safe, inclusive, and climate-resilient urban transportation in a digital age for sustainable development, is exceptionally relevant in today's context.
Vehicular emissions have emerged as a global challenge, with transportation accounting for 1/4 of the energy-related global emissions, making it imperative that there must be a transition to greener, more efficient, and sustainable systems. However, sustainability is not just about reducing carbon footprints. It is also about ensuring that the transport systems are safe, secured, inclusive, and accessible to all citizens.
You're welcome back. Well, from Lamata, we move to the Premier State University in Nigeria. I'm referring to Lagos State University, LASU. LASU has held its 99th inaugural conference. And of course, it was a memorable occasion. Memorable in the sense that all hands were on deck to make the event a success. Here is an extract of what transpired at that particular inaugural lecture.
The 99th Lagos State University inaugural lecture will go down in history as one of the most memorable. The star of the day, Professor Samuel Gbadebo Odewumi, aka SG, was radiant and bubbling with excitement as he was led into the full-capacity Buba Marwa Auditorium of the Lagos State University main campus in Ojo. Guests included university dons, transportation gurus and agents, traditional rulers, students, and people from all walks of life. Characteristic of Professor Samuel Odewumi, in his usual manner, mixed academic presentation with down-to-earth experience, handling the lecture titled Walking Our Way Back to the Garden of Eden, envisioning a model of complete metamorphosis of the urban transportation system trajectory. Professor Odewumi of the Department of Transport Planning and Policy, School of Transport and Logistics, LASU, cautioned that the solutions to the prevailing national insecurity, lack of professionalism, and inconsistent policies, amongst others, must be found in order to have an efficient and effective transportation service in Nigeria. He used LASU as a case study. Professor Odewumi, however, preferred workable antidote to the poor transport service in Nigeria.
We should take care of Mother Earth because the earth can continue without us. it is us that needs the earth. We cannot be behaving like stupid birds that scatter his own nest. So it is time, and transportation is one of the contributors to the greenhouse gas effect. Then two, we are becoming lazy. Anybody that has time in his life, when he has walked, we discover that they are healthy for a longer period. Walking is one of the best form of exercise. But our society has neglected, thinking walking is for poor people. Whereas the poor people that are healthy are better than rich people that are sick. So we want to look at the situation of what we walking do for this society. It is cheap, it is convenient, it promotes health, and is good for Mother Earth. So that is the essence. And the model that we are trying to use to predict where we are going to be, it may not be 20 years, it may not be 50 years, it may not be 50 years, although we are already seeing the signs of it, that in some cities, they are discouraging people from bringing car to what we call central business districts. So anybody that has to walk, don't think it is poverty that made you walk. Try to walk. Ask any medical doctor, walking is one of the best form of exercise you can do to get good health. It's not every time you stay from AC office to the AC car to the AC bedroom, you are softly killing yourself. And all of this, they have what we call carbon print on Mother Earth. The Earth is suffering, is groaning, and that is why we are having all sorts of fluky weather. Rainstorm today, earthquake tomorrow, and all sorts of things. Pandemics are coming on because of the way we have handled the earth. So I believe that, and some of our recommendations about let me start from the last one, second to the last one, about security. You cannot be talking transport to me without security. If a plane feels that there is a problem in the air, it will not take off. If a car feels that there are robberies on the road, they will stop. So for transportation, to which I profess to function, there must be security. And all the approaches that we have been using is today it will solve, tomorrow it will go down. It is high time we get a new way of tackling this insecurity. And what are the new ways? We already have retired generals, retired major, military, FRC, civil defense, all of them, they've handled weapons. And they are staying in the community. You are paying them retirement benefits. If it is 10 you are giving them, make it 20. Give them weapons. You know they are not going anywhere. Because you cannot rely on the military to deal with these bandits. Because once the military come, scatter them, the military will go. Because the military cannot spread all over the country. But when you call all this is Ado, if you are in Ado Ediota, this is Ojo, all retired generals in Ojo form a vanguard. We will pay you this and we will give you weapons. You will tackle these people. So they will always be there to deal with them. If you don't do it, we've just started hunger. Because all this palliative regime cannot take anybody anywhere. Let people be able to go to their farm rather than call them and give them rice. Say, is it Benue man that loves his pounded yam that you are giving rice, that he will think you are solving his problem? And even if you give rice, what will he cook it with? So it is important for us. And then two, the way we are developing transport is too disjointed. A government will come, do a road, another government will come, abandon that one, start another one. That's not the way transportation works. But more importantly, the one I mentioned about the road. Can all of us believe that road is accountable for 90% of mobility? Yet, there is nobody in charge. There's no authority. Nigerian Railway has NRA. Nigerian Water has NIMASA. Two, NIMASA and LASWA, and even Lagos has Lac Ferry, that is the operating term. There's no other agency carrying just 1%, 2%. They have those that are coordinated. But road is left as an orphan. Nobody's in charge. How do you expect our transportation to function very well when something that is handling your 90%, then to coordinate it, you now break transport into almost 7 units. Somebody is handling land. That is Ministry of Transportation. And it's not even the one handling the road construction. Ministry of Work is doing that. Blue Economy is now handling international waters, and NIWA is handling inner waters. Then NNPC is handling the pipeline. But road, for simple arithmetic, something 90, if you score 90% in the exam, you're already a super distinction. So if you get the road right, most other modes, we just support it. So we are doing disjointed incrementalist development, and that's not the way transport works. And we besides the road, we also want the policy document, because without a policy document, you don't know where you are, and that is because there is no policy document. That is why government can abandon this, go into that, do this, and in the end, we are not going anywhere. It's the road that somebody said he has made 3 years ago. Nobody will maintain it, and it will go into disrepair. So these are the issues, and we hope somebody there will listen. And Lagos is doing well, but why we mention Lagos situation is, they are doing big projects, but it's time to do inner roads. Inner roads distribute traffic. If you go to Alagbole, you just find out that the roads you won't think you won't know that you are in Lagos by the time you get into some inner recesses. So we want government to pay attention to these inner recesses, because inner roads are traffic distributors, whereas bigger roads are traffic collectors. They bring traffic to the road and they push it to where they will discharge it, and they will cause gridlock where they are discharging it. So these are some of our recommendations, and we want, last year especially, to start with, there will be a day we call non-motorized day. You come, you park your car, and you trek throughout this campus throughout the day. You give yourself help, you breathe good air. All of us will enjoy the Garden of Eden. This place could become another Garden of Eden.
Some guests later expressed their views on the 99th inaugural lecture of Lagos State University.
The postulations of the inaugural lecture are quite so lucid and so clear and highly instructive. If proper implementation could be done. For instance, he has talked about the absence of national transportation policy, which is very, very true. It's like we are just groping in the dark. We are planning without facts, and most of the activities that should have brought about a very solid transport policy started years back, 30 years ago, but up till now what they have is draft policy document. I believe that the present administration should work very, very hard to bring the document to the fore so that the planners could make use of it, the government, the policy makers, and so on, so that by the time the implementation starts, people can now start to see how they can review it to adjust to the contemporary issues, as well as being able to project into the nearest future.
Deep, and for Professor SG to come up with a model, I think we must commend him. Most of our postulations are at the level of policies, planning, development, strategy, but not at the level of model. So we give it. The problem we have with academic contributions. Our government really takes cognizance of things like that, and it is important that we take this document, interrogate it, examine it, and see what can be taken out of it. It's well known to me, so I'm not in position to actually be the best to judge.
Looking at his postulations, his recommendations, which of them actually?
Yeah, I don't understand the postulate. All those recommendations, especially the splitting of transportation into pieces, I think for those of us in the sector, I think it's not the best. We understand our intentions, transport, aviation, whatever is called blue economy, to us is known as marine and maritime services. Yeah, there's an economic part of it. Then you have the road sector, you have the pipelines, then you have the roads. I think it will be better. You get a better result if they're in one place. And they have just like you have in Germany, you have in South Africa, you have in the United States, you have in the UK. Anywhere things that work, that's the way it is. So, yeah, nations can develop homegrown, but in this case, it has not worked for us. But we pray it will work. This experiment will work. We pray it will work.
Specifically now, which ones are you recommending for Lagos State?
No, I agree with. For Lagos State is on the right trajectory. Fortunately for Nigeria, at least, it's an example to behold. So many states in Nigeria are doing wonderful things, and it's just for them not to take bad examples. There are too many good and bad examples out there, but they should take time, do what Lagos did for a very long time. LUPT 1, LUPT 2, Lamata, Ashuraju's period. Studies. A lot of studies are done to come up with facts. And so you don't just take things and just throw them for implementation. You have to plan. And you have to, it's not just copying policies from somebody else or copying master plan. No, you have to conduct studies, engage consultants to tell you what you need to do. No two place, like you said about those models, though it worked, but he is able to come from almost 5 models to come up with some additions to make suggestions for a Nigerian model. And that's what we need. And there are a lot of professionals like you have seen here. There are a lot of professors, there are a lot of academics, there are a lot of people who have traversed this transportation sector that can give us better things. I give him kudos.
A memorable point at the lecture was the introduction of the lady that prevented the termination of the educational life of Professor Samuel Gbadebo Odeumi for financial reasons.
I feel I should help him. When I found that he was no more coming to school, and I could see that he has the brain, and I don't want the brain to get wasted. That's why I feel I should help him. So I sent for him because he has stopped coming to school. So after the second term, I sent for him and he came. And I asked him if I could help him. He said yes. So I took him to the headmaster of the school. And I asked the headmaster that time, Mr. Adigun, to be deducting his school fees from my salary. So it was when he was in the modern school, not primary school.
Okay, modern school.
Yeah.
A lesson for all. One of the greatest achievements in life should be a way of raising people to become achievers.
Before I draw the curtain, continue to be your brother's keeper. Be compassionate. An assistant here or there, we more or less do the magic, and we have a better society. The next time, bye-bye for now.